name's Beck and welcome to my spoiler-free review of the first book in the Wayfarers series, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky. This is an adult sci-fi about Rosemary Harper, and she takes a job to be a clerk on Ashby's ship, and Rosemary is trying to escape her past. And not only do we have Ashby, but we've also got obviously his crew, and so we've got Sissix, who is the pilot, we've got Kizzy and Jinx, who are the technicians, we've also got a cultivator, a navigator, and an artificial intelligence on the ship called Lovey. So it really is about found family and these key characters, and they are so strong in this book that, to me, honestly, they felt like real tangible people, even though only half of them are human and the other half are alien, and then one's an artificial intelligence. The plot of this story is fairly loose and low-key, but it does drive the story, even though I feel like the characters are the strongest point. So the story here is obviously Rosemary's trying to escape her past, and then she also encounters Ashby, who hires her, and Ashby encounters basically the job of a lifetime that is going to pay his whole crew for a very long time, and so he accepts. So they're going onto this long haul through space. They don't really know Rosemary very well, and naturally they all bond together because they're in a space for a very long period of time with each other. So like I said, they basically become each other's found family. That's something that I really liked about this book, the fact that the characters had their own motivations and goals, and the politics, while they were present and drove the plot, they were only there to facilitate the plot rather than be an overarching and driving force. And these characters really took the reins and ran with them. They felt, like I said, very tangible. I first read this book about 6 years ago, and I recently reread it, and it has become something incredibly special to me. It really surprised me that when I actually paused this audiobook, that these characters weren't real and tangible to me, just because they were written so realistically and they were so vulnerable and charismatic in different ways, but they also had obviously moments of fallibility where they would do the wrong thing or create tension. And so because of those flaws, they felt like they were real people. What initially threw me about this plot trajectory when I read this story several years ago was that the pit stops along the way didn't seem like they were connected. But then it became apparent that because the Wayfarer is on such a long haul journey and these characters are essentially isolating on this spaceship with only each other, naturally you're going to feel restless. And so the stops along the way are for their survival and for supplies, but they're also for their mental health. And so through those different stops, you get to see the different cultures that Becky Chambers has built. And I think they're all really clever because while they differ so much from humanity, they also take into account different languages and different cultural practices that seem alienating to each other. And all of those little differences and idiosyncrasies are where you get the best dialogue and interaction and understanding from the characters. So the world building here really underscored what was going on with our characters and their mindsets and their understandings of each other, because something that one character does might seem overly intimate to someone else, but really it's just the way that they communicate through their culture, and it's something just completely normal. So viewing this story through a human lens, it made me think that all of these aliens existed, and I now want to go to all of their different planets as well. This book just felt like an experience that is now very close to my heart. The way these characters were all portrayed, not as stereotypes, but as characters with hopes, personalities, interactions, insecurities, all of it really worked for me. And I'm really getting the point across where these characters just made this entire story. If you're a character reader, you're going to love this book. And then something I also really truly adored about this book was the way that relationships were handled. There was such an openness and a kindness to this story in general, and there's a really beautiful female-female romance in here that conveys intimacy and trust, and I can only describe it as vulnerable, gentle, and sweet. And again, like those little cultural discrepancies that was present in one of the discussions, and it made it so much more wholesome to me, the way that the characters realized different things as they were talking to each other. But as endearing and warm as this book is, also on the flip side, it had me tearing up with emotion at different points as well. And I think that's where the politics and overall world building really reinforced what was happening with our characters and found family that we cared about. They were impacted externally as well, and I think the tension just was built very beautifully along the way. Some people might say that this book didn't have a plot, but I would absolutely disagree with them. A lot of people I've seen discuss this book say that it's very character driven, which is true, but that doesn't mean that there is absolutely no plot whatsoever. The way that I described it in my notes was that there is a direction, it just has the bass turned down and kind of lets the music play softly over it. So to me, the characters, they are the music, and so you get this backdrop of what's happening, but you also get led in the direction the characters want to take you in. It was a beautiful, genuine, warm, and very thought-provoking book, while at the same time somehow being incredibly extensive with its world building in an extremely down-to-earth and understanding way. It is a book that I would absolutely highly recommend because it is one of my favorites. Obviously, I gave this 5 stars. Overall, if you want a beautiful character-led story that is incredibly immersive with found family in it, this is definitely the book for you. Thank you so much for watching this review about a beautiful, cozy sci-fi. Let me know down below if you have read it. I would be interested to find out. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll come chat to you down in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.